folks, and welcome to yet another brilliant and informative instalment of Scottish Vapes. Now today we are going to be reviewing a sublime tank, which could be used for people who are just getting into sublimin. Cheap, very cheap, and also a bit unique. Look at that, cheap and unique, stylish too. Of course, we will be looking at the Aspire Cleito. Now, obviously, as some people may realise, that this right here is not the standard glass you get with your Aspire Cleito. This is an add-on called the Big Glass, or the Big Daddy Glass. I've heard different names, which makes the Cleito a bit bigger, which is good, because that was the issue I had with it when I got it. It was way too small. But with this little add-on, which is £5, £5, you can make that little tank go to 5ml capacity. It was 3.5 as standard when you buy it, but with this, 5ml, and it's good. 2 coils. The 0.2 and the 0.4, as far as I've seen. I've not seen anything higher than that. I have a 0.4 in this and a 0.4 to show you guys. So, let's get into it. Let's get to the packaging. Now, the packaging for this comes like this. So your tank's here. Open it up. Now, this is the standard glass you get. Oh, that's making my face all weird. 3.5 mils is the standard capacity when you buy it, and you get a spare glass just here. Now I've got 2. You get a spare coil in here. I think you get a 0.2 and a 0.4 when you buy it. I think the 0.2 is what you get installed once you buy it. You get a vape band, and you get a couple of these seals, which go on the top, because this does get quite hot. And that is, well, that's basically your packaging, really. Just this one little nice, neat package you get. So your tank will be here, spare coil here, glass, vape band and top bands and things like that. On the side it says Cleito, and the other side as well. I know it's upside down, but who really cares? That'll be the front of it. And here at the back you'll have your verification code and also some specs on the tank itself. Now, you can get this tank in 2 different colours, stainless steel, or as I have here, black. As I said before, once you buy it standard, it is a 3.5ml capacity tank only, unless you go and buy the big glass, which then extends that to 5ml. Basically what you would do is take this cap off, take off the glass, put the new one on, screw it in and stuff, fill it up, Bob's your uncle, you're good to go and vape. Now, I can't show you how to change a coil or anything like that, but what I can do is show you these coils up close and personal, because I have a spare one lying around. So, these are the 0.4s, the 0.2s look exactly the same. Now, the 0.4 is good from 40 to 60 watts, and these are clapped in coils as well. So, if you just see down in there, see your wick. Now, this little guy is quite unique because there is no chimney really. This is basically all there is to it. So this screws into the bottom here and sits just like that. Just like that, nice and flush. So this top cap screws onto the top of your coil. That's where you get these little ridges at the top. And it's very, very easy to open. You just take this and unscrew. Like so. And there you go. As you can see, the coil does protrude a little bit at the top. And to change the coil, unfortunately, you got to take off the glass, unscrew, and then put a new one in and then reassemble the entire tank. Now, the tank is very, very easy to take apart. It's very, very straightforward as well. All you basically do is take this off, take the glass off, take the coil out, and it's completely disassembled. And the airflow on this is quite good as well. 4 air slots. You just adjust it like so, And what you do on one will be the same for the other 3. So let's get down to it. Price of this. When I bought it, it was 20 quid. Might be a bit cheaper now since it's a bit older. Very affordable for the newer vapors that are joining the community. I have it rocking right now on my Artery Nugget, which only does 50 watts, but more than enough. I will show you it on my RX200 because that can do a bit more. And then we shall go into pros and cons. So before we get into that, let me just take a quick hit right now. Not too bad for a 50 watt vape, eh? So you can use this tank not too high wattage. It might be high for those who are used to vaping on 20, 35 watts, stuff like that. But it's smooth. It's not too hard. It's not too warm. It's just right for the sort of beginner sub-ohm vapor. I will say this though, because the coil is so close to the mouthpiece, in fact it screws onto the top cap, you do get a tiny bit of spit back. But that's not a problem. You get a wide board drip tip, which is removable, but to be quite honest, I don't see why you'd really want to, because I haven't found anything else that really fits on this. But there you go. You do get a vape band, whatever you want to call them. You get black ones and orange ones only. And as I've said before, you do get these little rubber top caps as well, which just stops your lips touching the hot metal. It's just to keep it cool, which is a neat idea. I'm glad the Aspire saw that one coming and sort of gave you something to cover it up with. And you do get a range of colours. You get blue, black, orange and red. I prefer blue because I like blue. Blue isn't my favourite colour though, funny enough. It's purple, but I like blue, so. Now if we just compare the clouds, if you're into that sort of comparison, I have a limitless RTDA on my RX just now, reading 0.18 ohms at 85 watts, so we'll run this first and we'll do a little comparison. So and here is surrounded. Here is the limitless. Now I know the comparison there in terms of cloud wasn't really fair. This is pretty much a dripper and that's a sub-ohm tank. But if I was to use another sub-ohm tank, I would go back to what I usually vape on, which is my amazingly great Cloud Beast Smock TF B8. I almost screwed it up like I did in the review, but I managed to hold it back. Now I've got the Q4 coil in this, just been running pretty decently since a while. I did use a T6, but the thing fell apart whilst I was putting it into the tank and I couldn't use it. So I haven't used one of those yet, so I just stuck this in. But here it is at 120 watts. So there you go for a comparison of sub-ohm and tank. Now what I'm going to do is put the Cleito on this. I'm going to bring it down to about 60 watts. I'll max out the coil. Now when I've been using when I use this all the time, I did use a 0.2 all the time, but because I like to primarily use it now on the Nugget, which will only do 50, I have to keep it high ohms. So I like to vape it like this. Now you see the difference that 10 watts will give you, but if RA ever did come out with an update that gave it that extra 10 watts, it'd be great. Fantastic, absolutely great. But they don't, so I'm stuck with it. But that's not such a bad thing, because you don't get exactly a crap cloud if you're into cloud chasing. This isn't such a bad little tank to start you off with for doing that, because this is how I began. I got this, then I got my drippers, and so on. But bearing in mind, this is still good. So, pros for the Aspire Cleito would be it's cheap. It is cheap. 20 quid or less, because I don't know the price of it right now, which sucks, but I will put a link in the description to go and purchase this. It's a small, nice little stealth kind of tank. I mean, if you had it on something like the Nugget, it does look quite stealth if you're not fancying to show it off. But if you are into that kind of thing, I wouldn't recommend this because of the cloud it can produce. Another thing would be, it does produce good clouds for its little size. The cloud, you've seen it yourself, 60 watts, that's not particularly high for some people. For some others that might be too high, but you can work up to that if you want to. I think the other good thing about it is it does look quite good. It does look good. Now, the only bad thing I can really think about this is the fact that you do have to take it apart to change the coil. That sucks, because you're not always going to have the coil end of its life when your tank is empty. That bugged the hell out of me. But 9 times out of 10, because it does go through juice very, very fast. Well, not very fast. I wouldn't say it's on par with a TFV8 or a TFV4, but it does go through it fast. However, you won't have a lot of juice in your tank necessarily at the time when the coil does go, unless you're one of those unlucky people like me who just fills it up and in a couple of puffs later the coil is just completely gone. But all that aside, it's a very, very good little sub-ohm tank. To be between you and me, this little guy is my baby. I love this tank so much. No one uses it other than me. My friends don't use it. My girlfriend don't use it. My mum doesn't, because she doesn't vape, which is great. But yeah, this is the tank that will never leave me. I love this tank too much. It's just great. The airflow is really good on it. You got a nice smooth hit. The flavour on it is really nice as well. And I couldn't imagine another tank you could really start to sub-ohm with, other than maybe a Aspire Triton, because you can do above ohm and sub-ohm as well. But yeah, there we have it, guys. The Aspire Cleito. Please like and subscribe. Comment what you think about the Aspire Cleito. And remember, folks, keep on vaping. Why would you smoke? See you later, guys.